this is quite a nice seg into the next part I want to talk about, which is the mental space of race day. And I wondered if we could sort of hone in on a specific example to sort of, I don't know, hopefully pull out some gold. So Tokyo 2021, you win 2 gold medals on the same day. 2 days later, you've got the K1 500, which is your hardest race. And if you win gold, you become New Zealand's most successful Olympian of all time. Can you walk us through like the hours before that race? Like, is there anxiety? Is there pressure? How are you dealing with it? And walk us through to sort of when it actually starts.
Yeah, and it's funny because I think I'd purposed, media had kind of mentioned to me, or if you go to this Olympics and you win this, you're going to be, the most decorated Olympian or whatever. You're going to overtake Ian Ferguson and I don't know, like, I guess to me that wasn't helpful. Whether I was or wasn't, that's looking at a potential. And I guess for me, I didn't need that kind of pressure. But I guess what was really tricky about that week is really it's the whole week. And that week, that's those 6 days of racing, was scary, and it's something that I had to, prepare myself for 4 years or 5 years prior to that moment, and just knowing how difficult the program was, knowing exactly, the heats, the quarterfinals, the semi-finals, how I needed, what type of energy I needed to put into each race, because I wasn't going to be able to do every race at 100%. That's just not possible. And so I think, it's a package. The week was a package. It wasn't just about one moment. Everything had to line up, and I had to trust the plan. So the plan, like I said, it was, okay, if it starts on Monday, was it Tuesday? I can't even remember which day we started racing. And so, that first race, the heat, I just had to make sure that I made it through to the next round. And so, there's going to be some parts of that race that were going to be really important to execute, and also leaving some training up to that week, up to those first few days of racing. So knowing that those races, when I'm at the Olympics, that I'm still learning. I'm still building towards really my biggest race, which was the K1 500. Which was 4 days down the track. So for me, it was that scary looking at that whole week. And I guess talking to my psych, we were kind of talking through it. And I guess it's really important for me to be really honest with myself. And I guess you can get away with, pretending everything's fine and brushing over. It's like, I'm not scared and I don't feel pressure. I'm really good under pressure. But, no one is, people can be good under pressure, but you're going to feel it. So for me, it was like, okay, what about thinking about being grateful and, man, what an opportunity. And I guess one thing was, it's like, well, don't, like when little kids, they get to go to the playground, it's like they love it, when their parents get to say, okay, let's go to the playground, it's fun. So for me, it was like, yeah, actually, when I get to go out there and race, it's like going to the playground. So when, mum and dad get to take you, get to go on the swing again, go down the slide, they get to push you. So for me, it turned into this thing of being, wow, this massive week, to, oh my gosh, I get 12 opportunities to go out on the playground this week. Cool, I'm excited. And also just knowing that, some events or some athletes will have one opportunity to go out there. Some athletes will have one race, and they may not even make it out of the first round. And then they're done. Olympics over. All those years, done. And even the likes of, like a triathlon, or they've got one race, one chance. Whereas I get 12 times, I get to go out on that race course and practice, enjoy it, get out there on the playground. So for me, it was kind of taking that mentality to enjoy it, find, gratitude, making myself go, wow, this could be the last time I'm ever here, and making the most of it. And I guess for me, it really allowed me to be really present and be able to execute what I needed to. So it wasn't, I guess what I find pressure does is it takes me away from my plan. It takes me away from enjoying it. I don't really get the most out of my body. So the way that to be in the moment, to commit, to not be afraid to put all my effort in was, you know what, I'm just going to give it a go. This is fun. I'm grateful to be here. So I guess that's a long way around your question.
No, that is one of the most gripping parts of any episode that we've ever had in 150, whatever it is. That was amazing.
Yes.
Stevie's welling up. I can see it.
Yeah. So I mean, I just guess what's so awesome is I've got these wicked people that, you know, that know how to help me be there. They're not going to go, oh, Lisa, you know, it's so hard for you. You've got so many races. Gosh, that's hard. I was like, well, that's not helpful. What's helpful is help me be there. Help me give everything I've got and what it takes, because it is tough, but help me enjoy it. Because that's probably the hardest part, is to be in the moment when you're scared shitless. You're like, you know, like you said, I could have easily not been the most decorated New Zealand Olympian. I could have come last, or I could have fallen in, but it's like, well, you know what? I guess it's being on the line, accepting both, you know, what could happen in both ends, bad and good, and going, you know what? I'm just happy to be here, but I'm just going to try my best.